Exactly, and that's sort of like the problem, which I'm sure, like some of you guys have been on that, that journey, and hopefully you've all been sorted out at the end, but I'm sure many people haven't.
Many people know Mark McCann as the YouTuber with expensive supercars, wild challenges, and an incredible collection of luxury vehicles. But behind the success lies another side that many viewers rarely hear about. Over the years, Mark has faced growing criticism, shocking controversies, and accusations that have divided fans online. So, what is the dark side of Mark McCann that so many people avoid talking about? And why has he become one of the most hated car influencers online? Mark McCann. For many people who only know Mark McCann from YouTube, it can seem like he appeared out of nowhere. But the truth is very different. Long before millions of people started watching his videos, he had already spent years building real experience around cars and motorsport. His story did not begin with cameras, social media, or chasing views. It started in workshops, garages, and scrapyards, where he learned about vehicles by getting his hands dirty and working on them himself. Mark McCann was born in September 1987 in Redditch, West Midlands. Unlike many online creators today, he did not begin his career in television, journalism, or the media. There was no background in reporting stories or creating viral videos. Instead, he grew up surrounded by cars and mechanical work. As a young boy, he spent countless hours in local garages and scrapyards, learning how vehicles worked from the inside out. Those early experiences helped him build practical skills that would later become a major part of his career. That background also explains why many people in the motorsport world take him seriously. His achievements are not simply part of an online image or a clever marketing strategy. They are backed by years of competition and success. Mark has won the British UTV Championship 12 times, an achievement that very few drivers can match. He is also a stock kart world champion, adding another major title to his racing career. Winning a single championship can sometimes be the result of one outstanding season or a bit of good fortune. But winning again and again, over many years, is a completely different story. It takes skill, hard work, determination, and consistency. In motorsport, competitors are quick to question anyone whose achievements seem exaggerated or fake. Yet Mark's record has earned him real respect because it was built through years of competition rather than online promotion. Another important part of his story is that he was never completely dependent on YouTube to make a living. His family's successful ratchet strap business gave him financial stability long before his channel became famous. Because of that, creating videos was never about desperately trying to earn money or survive. He entered YouTube from a position of security rather than financial pressure. That difference can be seen in the way he presents himself on camera. Many content creators seem nervous because every upload has to perform well. If a video fails, their income can suffer. That pressure often shows in the way they speak or act. Mark comes across differently. His videos usually have a calmer and more confident style because he does not appear to be chasing views out of fear. Instead, he gives the impression of someone who already knows his strengths and is comfortable being himself. For many viewers, that confidence makes his content feel more natural and believable. Although many people think his YouTube success happened overnight, his channel has actually been around for a long time. It was first created on the 18th of September 2009. However, the version that attracted millions of viewers is much newer. Over the years, the channel changed so much that it is almost impossible to compare its current style with how it looked when it first started. One of the easiest ways to notice this change is by reading the titles of his videos. There is no need to even press play. Simply look through about 20 titles in a row. You quickly begin to notice a clear pattern. Many of the titles focus on uncovering hidden stories or exposing people involved in questionable activities. Examples include exposing supercar dealerships, tracking down one of the UK's most wanted car theft gangs, revealing the hidden world of hypercars, uncovering car finance scams, investigating Facebook marketplace scammers, buying an illegal Cybertruck in the UK, hunting down a criminal chop shop, exposing a Bugatti parts scammer, and investigating one of the UK's most disliked people. After reading several titles, something interesting becomes clear. It no longer feels like you are looking at a normal car channel. Instead, it starts to resemble a true crime channel where cars simply happen to be part of the story. The vehicles are important, but they are often used as the setting for investigations, discoveries, and dramatic situations rather than being the main focus. Why did Mark McCann build 2 YouTube channels around the same stories instead of putting everything on one channel? Was Mark McCann creating controversy, or was he simply exposing problems that people were already living with? Let's find out. 2-channel content strategy. The way the 2-channel setup works makes the whole strategy much easier to understand. The main channel is where the big moments happen. That is where viewers see the major event, the shocking reveal, the controversial decision, or the headline-making story. Then the 2nd channel, Mark McCann 2, takes a different approach. Instead of simply showing what happened, it looks deeper into the story. Videos like The Truth Behind My Illegal Cybertruck and The Truth About the Bankrupt Supercar Dealership focus on explaining the background, the reasons behind the events, and what really happened. It is a smart system. The main channel grabs people's attention with exciting content, while the 2nd channel keeps viewers interested by giving them the full story. In other words, one event turns into 2 different types of content. That means 2 chances to reach the same audience, 2 ways to earn money, and 2 opportunities to keep people watching. This is not something that happened by chance. It is a carefully planned content strategy. Many people believe creators like Mark McCann are responsible for making viewers worried or angry about certain issues, but that is not really what happened. He did not create those feelings. They were already there. What he did was notice them and put them at the center of his videos. Instead of inventing a problem, he showed one that many people were already dealing with in their everyday lives. This was especially true for car owners across Britain during 2024 and 2025. Owning and driving a car became more difficult and more expensive than many people expected. The biggest problem for many drivers was the rising cost of insurance. Figures from the Association of British Insurers showed that the average motor insurance premium reached £612 during the 3rd quarter of 2024. During that same period, insurance companies paid out around £2.9 billion in motor insurance claims. Those numbers showed just how expensive the situation had become for both insurers and drivers. However, this is where another important detail deserves attention. The Financial Conduct Authority also reported that the average insurance premium increased to £619 during the first half of 2024. Compared with 2019, that was an increase of around 40%. At the same time, the average cost of insurance claims rose by 37% between 2019 and 2023. These are not simply dramatic headlines or stories created to attract attention. They are real numbers that show how much more money people were spending just to keep their cars on the road. Every increase meant more money leaving family budgets, making it harder for many people to afford driving. For younger drivers, the situation was even more difficult. Many of them faced insurance costs running into thousands of pounds each year. In some cases, they were paying huge amounts just to legally drive an older hatchback that was already 10 years old or more. Something as simple as driving from a parking space to a petrol station could come with an enormous insurance bill. As a result, many drivers started to feel that the system was unfair. It was not only the high prices that frustrated people, it was also the feeling that ordinary drivers had no control over the situation. Many believed the system was designed to work against them, even if nobody could actually prove it. Every time another insurance renewal email arrived with a higher price, that feeling only became stronger. However, the rising insurance costs were not the only concern facing car owners. On top of all those financial pressures, vehicle theft continued to worry many drivers, adding yet another problem to an already stressful experience. How did Mark McCann turn Britain's car theft crisis into millions of views? Why are so many people obsessed with Mark McCann's investigations? Let's take a closer look. Mark McCann exposes Britain's car theft. The problem of car theft in the United Kingdom has become much bigger than many people realize. According to the Office for National Statistics, there were an estimated 617,000 cases of vehicle-related theft in the year ending September 2025. That is an incredibly high number and shows just how common this crime has become. Experts also believe there is far more happening behind the scenes than people often think. The Royal United Services Institute has explained that many stolen cars are linked to organized crime groups that run large networks for selling stolen vehicles and car parts. In other words, many thefts are no longer carried out by a single criminal trying to make quick money. Instead, they are part of well-organized operations that can move stolen cars and parts across different countries with surprising speed. In some ways, these criminal networks work with the same level of planning and organization as successful businesses. That reality is both worrying and eye-opening. Because of this, when Mark McCann uploads a video with a title like "I hunted down the UK's most wanted car theft gang," most viewers do not think it sounds impossible. Instead, many people immediately believe it could be real. They probably know someone whose car has been stolen, or they may have experienced it themselves. Many drivers have also watched their insurance costs rise year after year because of the growing number of vehicle thefts. The situation already feels frustrating and unfair to many people. That is exactly why this kind of content connects with such a large audience. Mark McCann is not creating a problem that never existed. He is simply stepping into an issue that people already care about. He points a camera at it and says, "I know this is happening. Come with me while I try to uncover the truth." That simple approach makes viewers feel involved because it is based on a problem they already recognize. At the same time, no successful YouTube creator works completely alone. Every creator is part of a wider community, and Mark McCann has built a network that strengthens his content. Whether this happened through careful planning or simply developed over time does not really matter. The end result is the same. Each creator helps bring attention to the others while still producing their own unique style of videos. One important part of that network is Matt Armstrong. He is known for rebuilding damaged cars and investigating the stories behind them. His content often overlaps with Mark McCann's, making it feel as though both creators are telling different parts of the same larger story. A good example was the famous BMW M3 saga. Instead of belonging to just one YouTube channel, the story spread across both creators' videos. Fans followed each update from one channel to the other, making the experience even more exciting. Another creator in this growing circle is Yianni, whose Cybertruck videos match the same bold and adventurous style that Mark McCann often brings to his own content. While Mark usually focuses on investigations and unusual situations, Yianni explores custom builds and unique vehicle modifications. Even though their videos are different, they appeal to many of the same viewers. Then there is the industry insider side of the community. Tom Hartley Cars and Carl Hartley provide a completely different perspective by talking about rare luxury cars, the changing car market, dealership stories, and the reputation of different brands. Their content adds another layer to the overall conversation about expensive and unusual vehicles. Right in the middle of all these different creators is Mark McCann himself. His on-screen personality is one of the biggest reasons people enjoy watching him. He does not come across as a traditional journalist who might seem too serious or overly formal. He is not presented as a car dealer, where viewers might question his motives. He also avoids acting like an overexcited fan, which helps him appear more believable. Instead, he plays the role of someone who simply found himself caught in an unexpected situation. He often seems like a calm person who accidentally walked into a major controversy and decided to keep filming until he discovered the truth. That image feels natural and relatable, making viewers want to stay with him until the story reaches its conclusion. In reality, that positioning is one of his greatest strengths. The cars themselves are only part of what people are watching. The real attraction is the way he presents himself and the role he plays in each story. For that reason, it would be unfair to dismiss all of his videos as simple clickbait. While some titles are certainly designed to grab attention, many of the issues he discusses have real importance. One clear example is his campaign calling for closer examination of the United Kingdom's car insurance industry. His petition attracted more than 105,000 signatures. Why has every car on Mark McCann's channel become part of a much bigger story? Could the formula that made Mark McCann famous eventually become his biggest challenge? Let's find out. Hidden problem behind McCann's success. Most government petitions never even reach 10,000 signatures. So when one passes 105,000 signatures, it shows that the issue has caught the attention of a huge number of people. At that point, politicians usually have no choice but to take notice. That isn't someone chasing clicks. It is someone who accidentally stepped into the role of a journalist. At the same time, Autocar reported that no Tesla Cybertruck had been approved through the UK's individual vehicle approval system. The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency also said the vehicle could not legally be driven on UK roads as a UK-registered car. That wasn't fake drama created for YouTube. It was a real legal and regulatory issue that many major car news outlets barely talked about. Mark McCann turned that issue into a nationwide conversation while driving a vehicle that technically was not supposed to be on British roads. That takes a unique level of confidence and commitment. The same pattern appears in his videos about scammers, dishonest dealerships, and illegal chop shops. Many of those stories match real criminal cases and genuine examples of customers being treated unfairly. He isn't inventing bad guys just to make exciting videos. Instead, he finds real problems and presents them in a way that keeps people watching. What sets his videos apart is the depth of research. Instead of relying on rumors, he backs his claims with documents, records, and clear evidence. The paper trail is often so thorough that it could earn high marks in investigative journalism, despite the dramatic YouTube presentation. So, the content itself is not empty. There is real substance behind it. The bigger question is, what happens when the style of the videos becomes more important than the facts themselves? The problem is that once a format is rewarded for high drama and constant danger, it eventually starts needing more of it, even when real life is far more complicated. Take electric vehicles as an example. Videos with titles like "The Truth About EVs" regularly perform well for McCann, but the real numbers tell a much more balanced story. The Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders reported that 473,348 new battery electric cars were registered during 2025. That represented 23.4% of all new car sales. At the same time, sales of used battery electric vehicles increased by 45.7%, reaching 274,815 units. Those figures show a market that is changing. There are real challenges, but there is also strong growth. Some companies are succeeding, others are struggling, and there are supply problems, changing government policies, and new opportunities all happening at the same time. The problem is that a complicated story like that is much harder to turn into an exciting YouTube video. A channel built around simple emotional stories cannot easily explain a situation where both good and bad things are happening at once. And the numbers suggest the current formula is still working. According to Social Blade, Mark McCann gained around 43,000 new subscribers in the last 30 days. On April 29, 2026 alone, his channel reportedly gained about 8,000 subscribers and almost 900,000 views. Clearly, people are still enjoying this style of content. However, successful formats often create new pressure. If bigger risks and dramatic stories bring more views, creators naturally feel pushed toward making each new video even bigger than the last. A broken Bugatti stops being just a damaged supercar and becomes a story about an entire manufacturer. An imported Tesla becomes a debate about UK vehicle laws. A disagreement with an insurance company turns into a petition that reaches Parliament, and the audience usually encourages this. They clicked because they wanted excitement. After 2 years of watching crime investigations, scams, and legal battles, a simple 20-minute walk-around of a Volkswagen Golf GTI no longer feels exciting enough. So, what do you think about Mark McCann's dark side? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.